All right, let me try that again. It's Grass Eater as our silver, but it's actually platinum Zerg. Bottom left, we've got red Terran. It is the Shambler. Top right, we've got Kasuga as the Ultramarine. No, Zafir Protoss. Allied with Tudor, who is the... Oh, Eggshell Blue Zerg? Eggshell Blue Zerg. There you go. And, of course, we have SosijLord as our Sienna Terran and HitEmUp as our dark green Zerg. So, all that said, it is a ZTVPZVTZ. So there you go. That is our set of matches here. Obviously, HitEmUp has played on this map many a time. Even if he's hungover, he's still HitEmUp. He's still Bing Bong. He can still Bing him and Bong him. It's going to be a fast fulcrum from Sausage as our Zerg Lord, our tyrant, continues to develop his economy. Looks like all Zerg players so far going for the Larvosk opener, so no cheesy stuff. Fast scout from Grass as he attempts to confirm nothing in the top left is revealed. Jimmy scouts, that's a Shambler scouting in the bottom right. That's going to be a fast pool. Okay, so I guess it's going to be pool for everybody, isn't it? Interesting. No, I say take it back. Tudor's going for the Hydrath Den. Double gate for our Protoss. Kasuga's our sole Protoss representative. I hope he continues to represent our proud Protoss race. The Hierophant will stop Grass Eater's scout in his tracks before it really gathers too much useful information. One of the things that's kind of interesting is it can be difficult to remember offhand in a team game like this what everybody's race actually is, right? And so if you don't scout their structure to see that there's, you know, Kagura on the ground so that, you know, there's Zerg or whatever, it could be like, wait, what was Tudor? And especially if one of them was playing random. I think maybe Tudor and HitEmUp were both playing random in this game, actually. I have to go back and check the VOD for that. So lots of Drollets here for Grass. We've got a Starpad follow-up with the Maverick Man. Already some Quaz and a Circuit ready. Barely losing anything here is HitEmUp, so that attack was a flub. And it looks like Tudor will be taking a natural. The first player in the game to do so. Has the money. There you go. Lots of larva floated right now for Tudor. That's a little bit unfortunate. Could use some more workers. Zerg could always use some more workers, though. That's why sometimes you'll scout the AI, and they're turning every larva they own into Drolleths. Zorkish Shroud for HitEmUp. Certainly makes a lot of sense. On this particular map, you definitely enjoy Zorius. Some kind of front line that can deal with the fact that there's a lot of Cyclops on your team as well always helps. So I think, while HitEmUp might not be paying too much attention to what his ally is doing, he does have a good composition here available to him once this Shroud pops, that he will be able to withstand the brunt of the splash damage. Hydrath for Grass Eater is going to be the follow-up. No expansion for Shambler yet, but Grass does have a hatch coming. Tudor now going to start harvesting from the geyser. A little bit more static defense being set up here. I do think this map, it is pretty hard to take an expo and actually hold it. Or at least feel like you can hold it. It's not very defensible, right? So that's a bit of a concern there. Maybe if there was no ground path here, it would be one thing. If this was like kind of sealed off or whatever, but that would have other ramifications, implications. Pretty sizable Protoss army right now. This is Kasuga not going for a natural, right? Just instead going to stick to producing a lot of military, keeping his money relatively low. Kasuga will be playing, or already has played, but we will be casting Kasuga's group. It was Kasuga, Haunt, and SosijLord. We'll be casting their group later. Here's the drop from HitEmUp, or onto HitEmUp. All the workers basically getting evaporated. He didn't drill them, so they are going to take quite a big beating there. And it looks like pretty much all the Mavericks will escape. Only one of them left behind. He's actually going to unload them back here trying to kill the Eskagant, but we have a Cyclops drop. I drop your drop. It's like, it really is TVT. The Quas could have maybe gotten in on the Trojans there, but it's not quite going to happen. Now, HitEmUp is down to 9 workers, but that doesn't really mean that he's completely smoked out. He does have that hatch coming. He's got okay larva count. He just won't be able to survive another hit like that. So big ups to Shambler for making that happen. He's going to be in an okay economic position. His ministry a little bit off-center, it looks like, but not yet stationing itself. And nice little position for that Maverick to be there. Trying to counter-drop the SosijLord Trojan. I like the little drop wars. I think those are cute tactics there. Grass going to set up some anti-air defenses in his natural. I wonder what he's paranoid about. Did he... Maybe they scouted the SosijLord star pads? I don't think they did. Tudor is making 9 Skithricors, so that's pretty significant, I suppose. Definitely a factor. Still got a decent number of Mavericks in those Trojans. The army count isn't great for really any one given player. The scariest army is probably still Kasuga's. The Witness moving across the map. We got a random pylon up here. I don't know what that's all about. And now here come big attack from Tudor. Oh, sizable attack from Tudor as he tries to rout the Taloses. There's plenty of Watchdogs over here, so that's not really going to help him out too much. Drop comes in onto HitEmUp's natural. Oh, he's not really on it for that lake as it's going to get run down. The circuit is still here, though, and so this is actually going to be pretty difficult for Shambler to get too much damage dealt. Doesn't look like he killed a single worker. I guess that'll change now that that one has come up. But here comes the counter drop. Shambler not quite on the ball with his micro there, so he's only going to escape with the transports. Admittedly, the single most expensive part of that drop. I think it's safe to say that they still did their job. Tudor going for tier 2. Kasuga still having a pretty strong ground and pound army, and it looks like our bottom right team is a little bit disadvantaged positionally. SosijLord going for the expo a little bit later than he would have liked. He was getting some value with the Taluses, harvesting from this position here, but no longer the case. Lots of Hydras, some turning into Bactylisks here. Grass Eater's economy only now going to spike as 15 more workers finish, and he can really fully saturate that natural. Also got some workers over there. Good detection from that Ovoleth. Going to reveal the Witness. Kasuga not on the ball with that one quite yet. Looks like some Gorgs and some more Lakeids are coming up for HitEmUp. We got Phalanx. We got Mavericks. Tier 2 now hatching for Tudor. He's got his Shroud opening up. It doesn't... Honestly, it doesn't really feel like any one team is super far ahead. I guess you could say the bottom team is a little bit behind, but tier 2 now coming up online here for SosijLord. Obviously, only one team has really been heckled in the early game, and it is the bottom right team. Well, if they just keep steady, you know. Shambler only has 52 workers. I say only because he's only got 2 bases, and that is a fine worker count for 2 bases. But I'm like just demonstrating. HitEmUp at one point was down to 9 workers. He's almost within spitting distance of his opponent. So, Ministry going to go ahead and drop a land here. SosijLord is doing this in full view of his opponent. The drop comes in, but it's immediately routed by the Skits, it looks like. Not quite going to be able to do too much there. Oh yeah, that is a dead Trojan for sure. So these Gorgs are going to hug the bottom strip of the map. They will be spotted by this Vulture, but will the Shambler pay attention to that on the minimap? He did not pan his camera over there. I don't think he notices. There are some Watchdogs here, so it's not the end of the world for him. Empty Trojan gets routed by the team to the north. SosijLord obviously trying his best to keep things going here. And yeah, HitEmUp going to go ahead and expand to the other side as the... Wow, this is actually a lot more Gorgs than I thought. I thought it was only 4. It's actually 7. He's going to eviscerate that first Watchdog and then go after the Mason count. And Shambler is going to potentially be in shambles economically. He can just stand here and fight the Madrigals. Gorgs have a good amount of health. There was only 2 Madrigals anyway. Some of them obviously softened up by those Watchdogs, and now he's going to start to fall back. But Shambler down to 36 workers. HitEmUp now has a superior economy. Kasuga, building a lot of units, is grabbing a very important Clarion out of that Ardent Authority and keep his army going. Looks like maybe there was some... yeah, Tudor already at tier 2. He's going to fly in with the mutas. Still lots of splash damage here, and you don't want to leave the mutas versus those splash damage. You need to get moving in the middle of that attack, but Kasuga coming in to maybe clothesline SosijLord. Looking a little bit rough. Worse for wear. What is the response for HitEmUp? Is he ready to take a fight right now? Because Grass and Shambler are also moving in on that team. It looks like this Ministry is going to need to get the hell out of Dodge. Cestus goes down. No more detection in this area either. This is a really nice coordinated attack from Tudor and Kasuga. Whether they continue to press the issue is up in the air right now. Tier 2 for Grass Eater. As HitEmUp has an okay force here. Not great splash damage from the top right team. The Gorgs are going to help very, very nicely. There's no Clarion over here. So that's definitely going to help him out. But now he's going to go ahead and be pressured at the same time by the bottom left team. The team FFA part coming in for the clutch. And Kasuga even goes ahead and stays alive anyway, with the help of Tudor's Bactylisks. No detection yet, so they can't really clear those Lakes. But this is a dead bottom left natural for HitEmUp. He's going to be reduced down to 1 base eco. So you can forget what I said about him having better economy. Doesn't quite look like, even with Kasuga's detection here. Oh, I love the Valkyries. That'll definitely help versus the... maybe it'll help versus the Antseals, but it'll definitely help versus the Mutastack, if that's going to continue to happen. Kasuga's actually going to spot these Drollouts up here in the top left, so might be the next target for our Protoss player. And Tudor going for Ultra Cores right now. A great little swath of Lakes spines damaging everything over here, but they are still going to be overwhelmed. Antseals to detect. We only... the 3 of them is still a good number. Really hard to break that. And the Mavericks, the Phalanxes, the defensive line is gone. There's a Zethar in that anchor. That is hilarious. Bet they weren't expecting that. Falling back to the side. SosijLord trying to be keeping tempo. Both of them have spent their money. This is their final stand. They need to be able to bleed this bottom left team for everything they've got and maybe try to stabilize and come back into the game, hoping that the rest of the game goes their way. SosijLord not quite happening with the rest of his ally. Yeah, all the Gorgs are gone. It's just Zeth Quaz. Cyclops dive in to try to kill those Phalanxes now that the Antseals are gone, but they are being routed. The Bactylus bounces will be earmarked for them soon. Oh, and the Phalanx shots do the trick. This looks like GG, but I don't think there will be a GG called, at least not from Hit, who's about to lose the last of his units. It's an overwhelming, overpowering force. I think they would have survived no problem if Kasuga and Tudor were the only ones attacking them. But that's not quite the case, is it? That is not quite the case. Another round of units, including Zarkava Cores and Ultra Cores here for our top right team. They're going to be ready to come in and finish off this force. And, you know, SosijLord is desperately trying to hold on for dear life. Technically, HitEmUp does still exist in the game in the top left, but SosijLord is only here. If he gets routed, it's going to be a wrap. And the Shaman doing very nicely to keep those Bactylisks alive there. Some nice little ally savior. But here comes the big push from Tudor and Kasuga. As they dive in, they're going to clean up this attack. See that, oh, HitEmUp and Sausage are basically dead. They're going to wipe this army entirely off the map. At the same time, it looks like there was some action happening over here. Grass Eater might have tried to expand in that location. Only to see that, okay, well, that's where HitEmUp has taken another base. Valkyrie's doing some splash damage. They will finally be routed. It's pretty brutal here. I mean, Tudor has everything, all of the bases covered as far as, like, he's got some splash, he's got some air, he's got a good front line, and he's got a few Bactylisks. So he's kind of a jack-of-all-trades army right now, and that's also kind of true for Kasuga. But, that being said, there is a Star Sovereign on the way, and he's got Didacts. I think he's going to trick-shot Shambler and Grass Eater later on in this game. That would be beautiful. That would be what we need. SosijLord is essentially wiped off the face of the earth. He's rebuilding a ministry just to stay in the game, just to keep it going. A couple of Tudor's units going to finish off that Zorkish Shroud, which might actually have consequences here. HitEmUp slowly trying to rebuild, and yeah, that ministry is gone. He does have Antseals. It doesn't look like he evacuated with any workers, though. If he had one Talos moved into the top left, that would be one thing. Kasuga taking a 4th base. He's already taken 12 o'clock, which is a double gas. Yeah, as of right now, it's looking pretty dicey here. Bottom right team essentially out. Now it's just HitEmUp. Yeah, SosijLord has no workers, only the 2 ant seals. Some calcs are going to chase away this Grass Eater Ovaleth. And what army has been being made here in the meanwhile? Grass Eater has 8,000 minerals. Making a lot of Bactylisks out of his Oxylcesians, it looks like. And yeah, right about now, I mean, it looks like Shambler just keeping his money relatively low. I did see that he's got tier 2, but he's not leveraged it with anything just yet. And yeah, HitEmUp is just well, HitEmUp has been glassed, so see ya. Kasuga first does it to him. And that means that SosijLord is classic Kasuga. Yeah, SosijLord is also eliminated then. Yeah. Well, there you go. It's now just a 2v2. He's going to preemptively glass just in case Grass Eater wants to become Glass Eater. One of them will end up getting caught there. A couple of the throwaway Tudor units are indeed going to be routed here. Man, there's so much minerals here for Grass still. He spends down to 6k bank. He's been harvesting from here. This is the Didact recall for sure. Is he gonna go ahead and reglass? Like, is that what his play here? That's what he's focused on. Oh no, he's flown into the detection of the Iral Iris. He's gonna try to get the recall off, but it's not gonna succeed. It takes a lot longer than that. And oh, well, at least he's not gonna glass his own base doing it. Now there's a big engagement down here with a lot of the tier 2 Zerg Air and plenty of Dracodons. The Clarion spreading out all that shield damage as well, keeping the Protoss army alive. Grass trying to flank in from the west, but I think this siege line is gonna more or less be riddled to death with plasma and with all kinds of biological attacks. We got more units coming in for Tudor as well, including his Arcade Core trying its best to stay alive on that front, dealing some splash damage. The last of the Phalanxes are about to fall. Grass Eater coming in with a flock of Nathrakors, but the splash damage, I mean, the bounce attacks from the Bactylisks are bad enough, but you got Calcs in that mix, you got some Sicklelisks still on the ground. Buddy, you cannot get anything done with just the Nathrakors alone. The Bactylisk count is still really respectable here from Grass Eater. And the Starvin is just going to go ahead and fly into Grass Eater's base and glass him directly. Screw the escort. He doesn't need it. Clarion's shielding so much. These Dracodons barely taking damage. The Bactylisks might still be enough to rout him, especially if those Clarions end up going down to the bounce attack. So that's good, but it's all a distraction. Kasuga, my buddy, my guy, are you going to... Oh, no, it's going to go down. Oh, so sad. Well... At this point, Grass Eater trying to see if he can push him back. Another Star Sovereign has arrived. 7 armor. I mean, Bactylisks are going to be doing like 1 damage a pop. Rest of the army over here, we could get a meaty stasis onto some of these Bactylisks. The shields are starting to falter on the Star Sovereign. Still plenty more to go there. Tudor coming in with a bunch of Zorius. Both Zerg players having a ridiculous amount of minerals and not that much gas. This might still end. I mean... If that glassing had gone off, that would have been a very different story, but Kasuga maybe bit off a little bit more than he can chew. Trying to drop in the front line. Good stasis there. Might allow Tudor to maybe break through. These Ultra Cores are trying to steal as much life as possible. They do deal pretty good damage. There's still a couple of Shamans over here as well, but the shellacking from the Phalanxes is going to be enough to occasionally bring down the average Ultra Core. That being said, we still have so much here from our other team, and that Sovereign falls back. It's going to snipe from a distance, and now here come the Dracodons. They've been aggroed in. You can see the Clarions trying to tail it. The Madrigal's not going to be alone. Not enough alone, and yeah. Well, even though he stasises his buddy's Ultra Core, it's still going to be just fine. Yeah, they're still breaking through. I mean, I don't actually know what Grass has. At this point, it's a lot of Nathrakors. He's got, what, 32? I don't think he's going to be able to really do anything in this position. Kasuga thinking about maybe taking the long way here, using his Star Sovereigns. He's got I love the engrams in the middle of nowhere. His Witness on patrol, just seeing what's going on. That Ultra Core is going to take forever to go down, man. It doesn't finally get shellacked by all the Phalanxes. Worker line here for Grass is basically exfoliated, evaporated. Tudor going Gazithalors, another Star Sovereign on the way for Kasuga. He's got 2 of them on the front line. At this point, what's the counter? Where's the anti-air? I think that's what the Nathrakors were supposed to be for. Yeah, here we go. Grass is going to try it. There's not any, I don't know where the Didax went, but... Oh, he's going after the one that's glassing. Is he going to be able to do it? Not before the glassing comes in and breaks some of those Phalanxes, but at least the Hatrosk will stay alive. Down to 24. The missiles from Intervention are going to help out a little bit here. But yeah, Kasuga's just going to have to lose it. The Nathrakor's finding their purpose. They're going to eat up those Clarions as well, forcing our Protoss player back. Grass Eater has nothing else in production. He's just been making pure chaff on the ground. Shambler trying to put down some tier 2. Finally leveraging that because he's been on tier 1 this whole time, even though his Atlas was finished. That's his first tier 2 production, and it's like 10 minutes in after he gets it. We got some Optectons in the field. Kasuga going to fall on back. We got Gitoricors in. They're actually very good versus the ground. Some Convies are here as well. Try to slow down and ensnare the Protoss force. Those Optectons are going to help try to break through. Tetzoricors for the splash in the melee. I love to see it. Tudor are going to continue waypointing more units in. The Gezis have arrived. There's still a lot of Nathrakors. Did they bring anything for the anti-air? I'm not sure the answer is yes. Remember, Optectons only shoot down. Nathrakors having to fly back. And yeah, as of right now, I mean, the Bactylisks are really struggling to do much of anything in terms of damage. Where did those Naths go? They just kind of parked themselves off to the side. I guess the Iziricors were the main concern there from Grass Eater. And he keeps his Convolutk alive, but that's about it. Golems, Dracodons, another Star Sovereign. Plenty more where that came from. The Protoss and the Zerg seem to be overwhelming Shambler and Grass. Kasuga, my guy, you trick-shotted HitEmUp out of the game, and now you're pushing forward for another dub. We need to see a big waypoint out of Tudor as well, I think. Get some of those units out. He's been spending his money very nicely, actually, ever since I called him out earlier. And, you know, Grass has as well. Only down to 3k minerals. I mean, that's still a lot, but better than 8. Looks like a couple more Rillarocors spawning on top of the army, but there's no unsafe splash over here. The Optectons maybe not targeting the best units here in this position. And yeah, the Star Sovereign trying to fall back so it doesn't get ensnared. I think you can still tell, like, yeah, those Nathrakors are hunting around looking for targets. They go after the Alcagelisk, which can fight back a little bit. The Madrigal's helping out as well with their anti-air cannons. Only the first couple of advanced walkers coming out now for Jimmy, for Shambler, I should say. But still struggling to really get them onto the field, slowly waypointing them. This force seems like it is going to have a rough time breaking through, but the glassing here from Grass Eater is definitely being a little bit rough there. That's going to be a dead base. Optectons, oh man, everything over here. Those Nathrakors not going to last. I don't think that Shambler can hold this with any units he's making. And with that base gone for Grass Eater, that was a lot of his income, especially his gas income. He's going to go ahead and stand here and glass. I love the stasis to help out. Just reduce the DPS. When they unfreeze, they're going to be in a very rough spot because they'll just end up dying to the glassing. There you go. One of them at the very edge of the map there. More and more units pouring on in. Tudor back home macroing, but as soon as he sends in the next wave, this might be the uppercut, the gut punch. Didact ends up going down there, but yeah, Tudor's coming in with his army. Optectons are aggroed as well. Some mines left over, that's really funny. Yeah, that's not going to be enough Naths, my friend. Grass just doesn't have enough money. Doesn't have enough income. 7 Zarks coming online as well back at the home base here for our top right team, and I'm pretty sure they are going to take it. He's got a lot of Katas. Shambler not quite using them right now. Maybe he lost track of them in all the excitement. Or maybe he is using them in his reality. But look at this. What a juicy glassing target there. Is he going to pull the trigger is the question. There you go. Get it. Get it, son. Oh, Tudor, your army, no! Oh, he's glassing his own ally and himself. Man, that is rough. Grass Eater has become Glass Eater because that's all that's left of him. We love to see it. We do love to see it. Like, Kasuga's just kind of spreading out across the whole map. Nobody's taking the top left areas. There's one Droleth from Grass Eater that's slowly killing some other stuff, but I think we can call this one, lads. I mean, Shambler's trying to expand over here into the bottom right, but he just doesn't have hardly anything. He's making more Katas, just trying to... I guess he'll have one final glorious defense from the A move. You can see Grass silently watching, like, He still has all these draw lots. He could move to the top left. I think he's only now realized, wait a second, I have this guy. Yeah, he's going to try to take these bases, I think. Maybe. Maybe, I think he might be looking for like a different one. No, I don't know. I don't know what he's up to. But he's thinking about it, but I think that's all he can do. GG's, Rainerell. Saw your message earlier, a little later than maybe. Oh, look at that! He's gonna go ahead and use the Didact to recall his monuments, his units out of the monument. All right, here comes the lift. I mean, there's still a lot of katas. I don't think it's gonna be quite enough though. Shambler's in shambles. He knows he's in shambles too. Big stasis onto those katas. I love the spellcaster usage. He's even going to go ahead and glass here, even though it's totally unnecessary. He's just showing off, you know? Doesn't do any damage to air units, so no harm, no foul there. I think maybe some Tetsa ended up getting killed by the katas, but that's a wrap, man. GG. Shambler is in shambles. Oh no, the Anthelion! He calls GG. And concedes. And Grass Eater had nothing, so that was a wrap. GG's, okay, well, hey, that was a cool 2v2v2. I'm glad we got to see that.